problems, like at this level, being fired for a company, going through a divorce, or that the Dutch football team is losing, let's say, the World Cup final, to say something. Before, well, of course, for me this was at this level, and then after this kind of experience, you don't have any fear anymore, and they decrease to this level. And what I really found out for myself is that when you really have a dream, and again, for me, teaming is my big passion, and this is the dream I'm going to work for and to defend until the day I die, because it's giving so much happiness, it's helping so many people. But if you really have this dream and you combine that with really enjoying every small moment you are experiencing, and you don't have any fear to anything anymore, to me personally, this is the perfect combination to really achieve dreams, and that's also on a personal basis something I wanted to share with you. I don't know how we are on timing, or
15 minutes left.
We're still, perhaps it's quite a small group. I don't know if you have some questions, and if you don't have questions, I keep on talking, no problem at all. But if you have any questions about anything, about teaming, about the way it works, or is everything clear? Yes?
So thank you for your speech. My question is, for example, I work at Hewlett-Packard here in Barcelona, so it's a big company. You just to pass your, your trams for your train ticket is just a nightmare. So how can I launch this there?
It's a good question, and it also reminds me to explain a little bit what is teaming nowadays, because I'm going to explain you something which is, let's say, an answer to your question. Again, teaming nowadays works the way I explained in companies. There's just a statical website you can visit, but again, it's statical, and it's like a guideline, a guidebook to see how this works in companies. It's true what you say, that sometimes in big bureaucratic companies it's not easy at all to set up teaming, because of course you depend on human resources, you depend on SAP systems or whatever the systems may be. And this really inspired us, I must say us, because I work for Grupo Intercom, which is the leading internet company in Spain. Which, they have brands like Softonic, InfoJobs, they're quite known even in Europe. It's a big internet company, almost 1,000 employees. I work for that company. I still have to explain this, because when I talk about teaming and I emphasize so much that teaming doesn't have a bank account, people sometimes tell me, okay, sounds very good, but what do you do for a living, or how do you pay your rent? Well, combine teaming, I've always combined it with other jobs. My job now is working for Grupo Intercom, this leading internet company. And what we are doing there is developing a new virtual teaming platform where soon, within 1 or 2 months, it will be possible that you can do teaming, but let's say outside the companies. This will be like a Facebook for teaming people, because in the past few years there were so many questions of people, students, saying, okay, how can I do teaming outside the companies? One day I had a phone call, was a lady calling me, and she said, okay, I love the idea, but in my company it's only three of us, and we actually hate each other. So there's quite difficult to do teaming in this circumstances. And for these kind of situations, and people who want to do teaming with friends, and now of course we have these social networks, we have Facebooks and Twitters. It would be so nice to be able to do teaming on a virtual basis. And in Grupo Intercom we are working on that. It will work, well, let's say the following way. You just can create a group, the same way you do it at LinkedIn or at Facebook. You invite your friends. These friends, on a very simple basis, they can enter in your group. They can do teaming, and of course, at their profile, they have to give their bank account only once. But there's a lot of security behind it, because also ING, well, one of the leading banks in the world, they are also well powering this platform, because without such a big bank, of course, it's impossible to do, because never people would trust, to give their bank account to do teaming through a virtual platform. But between Grupo Intercom, ING, we are developing this. There's a big investment of this company, and they just do it on a social basis because they really believe in the potential of teaming. You create your group, you invite your people, and this way you can do, for example, teaming with 50 friends you might have in Facebook, generating €50, and you don't depend anymore on your company, on payrolls. And I think this is even more powerful than what is teaming so far, because developing this platform, we already, as I still have some contacts at Football Club Barcelona, where I've worked for a couple of years, they already confirmed that they are going to create this teaming group, inviting the followers they have, the fans they have at Facebook. Imagine what this can mean. So Football Club Barcelona creating their teaming group, inviting, I think they have more than 12 million fans at Facebook. If only 1% of their followers said, okay, we enter in this teaming group and we give €1 per month, this generates so many aid, which could be given to any social project of their own foundation. Even Shakira, because there still is contact with her manager, they confirmed the same. There's big potential of, let's say, big, powerful brands. That can be a company, can be Football Club Barcelona, can be a famous person. But here, I think the most important thing is really the other side. People nobody knows. It can be you with your friends, especially NGOs creating their own group, inviting their followers, because there are so many small NGOs. They have so much problems now to raise funds because it's difficult times. There are no subventions anymore. Private funding is also getting more and more complicated. So it's really designed for them, so that they can design their group. They can, because there are many NGOs, small NGOs that do fantastic jobs, and they might have, for example, 5,000 or 6,000 fans at Facebook. But of course, at this moment, they cannot do anything more than supporting them. But imagine that these people, or part of them, they just can enter in the teaming platform and give only €1 per month. So that will be operational soon, and we will make quite a noise about that. So you also will be just visiting the teaming website. We will inform everybody on how this project is going. So my answers are a bit long, but if there's more questions. Does this mean that, or it's so clear that everybody's going to do teaming right now? No, again, it's just I come back very often to this personal story, but I really think it is important because of course teaming grew this way. I think we are especially in a period now with this world crisis. We're going through tough times, and it's a cliche, like every opportunity or every crisis, let's say, creates opportunities. But I really believe in it because, of course, I went through this bankruptcy, which of course was a big crisis. But now I even think that thanks to this bankruptcy, well, I have a certain experience that I'm using now for developing teaming. This crisis of having a daughter born with such a serious disease, of course, this is a big crisis and this is a terrible problem. But I think it was also converted into an opportunity. And I think it just depends on your attitude, how you take these kind of things in life. And I've got the advantage that I'm a bit older now, a bit wiser. And then sometimes I talk to very young people, students who are starting or about to start to develop their dream. And we talk very often about that because it's not easy. Sometimes people, they see the nice side. They see teaming now and they see teaming in the press and they see teaming, big teaming cases, even here in Tarragona, Portaventura, the theme park. They are doing teaming with 4,000 people. They are also matching the amount, so generating a lot of funds. And people that just sometimes see this side and they say, "Oh, you're so lucky. This is really a nice story." And therefore, I think sometimes it's important to explain that. Well, I don't think it's a matter of luck. I think it's a matter of not throwing the towel in the ring, fighting for it every day, and really believing in your dream. And if there's something I can help you with, or you want to contact me, you can always do that through the teaming website. Because sometimes it's funny to me that I get messages from people saying, "I want to be in contact with the communication department of teaming." And I say, well, there isn't anybody. That's me, because the teaming is really, there's no organization behind it. It's only a website. So there you can always find me. And again, any question or comment or whatever. Well, the thing is, I could help you with. Here I am. If there are any more questions, I don't know if there are. Yes, yeah. Are there?
If it's all organised through the companies themselves, how do you keep track of what companies are doing it and how much money's been generated?
That's also a good question. I don't track this at all. It's completely out of control. And this is basically what I wanted. Recently, a journalist, she asked me, now teaming is growing so much, she asked me if I don't have any fear or if I'm not afraid someone stealing the idea. And I said, no, I just want everybody to steal this idea. Because I think this can only grow if you really leave it open. And if you put conditions that people have to inform you about, what they are doing. The only thing I do is spreading the idea. And this idea just needs communication and action. Now teaming came to a point that sometimes just by coincidence I find out that some people or companies doing teaming, and I think it's a good idea. When we go to teaming 2, let's say to the teaming evolution on this virtual platform, of course here the things will be a bit different because there's a back office behind it. Again, I don't suggest any social project to finance because as I said, teaming is now developing in Japan and in other countries I've never been to, so I don't know any foundation in Japan and I cannot suggest any social project in Japan. Of course, people and companies doing teaming over there, they've got the good ideas and they know on a local basis who to help. I think the strong point here is that people decide as a team who to help. So it's very difficult to have fraud, for example. No, of course you never have any guarantee to anybody in life because sometimes when I talk about this virtual platform, people they might think or they might wonder or they might ask like, hey, is there any risk? Of course, there's serious companies behind it. There's a big bank behind it, and well, we think it's for 99% secure, but you never have 100%. I think when the first car was produced, of course, there also existed some risks to accidents, and it's a bit of a strange comparison, but I see it this way. So again, teaming until now, nobody really tracks and really controls what's happening, where the cases are going to. Although a lot of people, they are contacting me, just sharing the cases. There's a recent one which is very nice in Mexico, for example. In all Latin America, teaming is growing very quickly. There's a recent teaming case in Mexico where people even decided not to help an NGO but to help a person because there was a big Mexican company. They do teaming at the same way, just with symbolic amounts. And in this company, one of the employees has a brother with, let's say, the circumstances like my daughter. So a very poor family, a guy that cannot walk, and during a couple of years he was still just in his bed because they couldn't even buy a wheelchair. This was the brother of an employee. This employee proposed teaming in order to finance a wheelchair for her brother, and of course people on a democratic way, they all voted on financing this wheelchair. And I think this is beautiful, just that people propose their own projects and that there's really a direct way to even help, well, in this way a colleague, and but again, the second stage, the virtual teaming, of course, it will be easier to see where everything goes because it's also important to share results that people doing teaming on this virtual basis, that they can show in their group, that everybody can visit where these funds are going to. So this will be a kind of open database, if you like. But that's really the difference between, let's say, teaming 1 and teaming 2. Any more questions? I think what we do, there is an article, quite a recent article, that resumes a little bit, let's say, teaming and my personal story. We made some copies, so if you like, we just distribute it. And again, now I realize that there's quite a big photo of mine on this copy. But again, there's a bit of the resume of the story. So again, thank you very much for well, listening to this, for sharing this story, and any other question, you can always contact me.
Okay, so thank you for your attention. Special thanks to Jill.